Group Fitness Fundamentals, Music and Voice, Chapter 4. So music for your classes is probably the thing you spend a lot of time on, depending on the type of class. If you're doing a sport conditioning class or a cycle class, you spend a lot of time looking and picking your music. In choreography-based class, you spend less time picking your music because the fitness music that you pick for teaching choreography is structured and built the same. It's just different songs being put in. But it is a vital piece of your fitness class. Provides motivation, structure, mood, flow, and assists with your cueing. So your music can make or break the class experience for your participants. So make sure you choose wisely in terms of genre, in terms of speed, making sure that it's something that people like and enjoy. The structure of your music for choreography-based classes, again, it's going to be the same type of music they're going to use, 32 count phrased. Doesn't change all that much except for the songs that are you selecting, the type of music you're choosing. But in a cycle class, you can use the structure of your music to determine how long you spend in a climb, how fast you pedal, how slow you pedal, and how it feels. Music can feel like something you would do on a bike ride. And in sport conditioning classes, you can use music to time your intervals. So you can actually have your music playing for 45 seconds and then nothing for 15 during the break. And you can have that repeating over and over and over. In terms of 32 count music for choreography, once you get used to using the music, then it will actually help you with your cueing because you can hear the music and hear the change, which will help you with your counting. Hearing the music becomes second nature with practice. So being able to hear that 32 count phrase for choreography just takes time. And being able to hear and feel what a music sounds like for a cycling class just takes practice and experimenting with different types of music. So give yourself some time to practice with that to make it become second nature. So every piece of music comes down to basically beats or counts. It's a regular rhythmic pulse. It feels like a heartbeat when you listen to the music. We have downbeats and we have upbeats. So downbeats are the stronger beat. That's the one that you move to. That's the one you start your movements with. Upbeats, we don't really worry about them as much. They just kind of round out the downbeats. So we're looking at starting our movement on the downbeat. When you listen to music, you actually start tapping your hand or tapping your foot. Then that's the one that you feel. That is the downbeat. So let's listen to just a little bit of music here. Let's listen to this. So when you listen to the music, you're going to just sit and you're just going to start to move your body. And you should start to move on the hard or the downbeat. I'll give you a 32 count phrase or two just to listen, and then I'll start cueing the push or the that you're going to feel with the music. So what I'll do now is actually move my cursor. Every time there's a downbeat, I'll move it up so you can see when the downbeat should be happening. Down, up, 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 down, up. So you can actually start to feel the music starting to move your body. And that's the beat that we want to move our bodies to when we're teaching our fitness classes. A measure is basically an organizational unit, so it's how music is organized when it's created, and it basically gives music a rhythm, gives personality, and basically rhythm is determined by regular patterns of the musical movement. So you're going to have different slight structure or organization for different types of music. So marching bands have a 2-4 rhythm, waltzes or two-steps have 3-4, and fitness music is always built as 4-4 music. So for someone who has been teaching fitness for a very long time and using 4-4 fitness music for a very long time, I cannot two-step because I always want to move to the non-existent 4th beat in two-stepping. Because there's only 3 beats, that's the way the music is built, that's the way we're supposed to move to it. But I have a lot of trouble because I am always listening for the 4th beat because that's what I'm trained to listen to. So you'll notice different styles if you start listening to different types of music. Tempo is basically music speed. Fast music has more beats per minute than slow music, thus creating more intensity if you're moving to the music. There's lots of parameters for tempo. Warm-up, 120 to 136 is appropriate. High-low impact, 134 to 158 beats per minute. It can be slower if you have a group that needs slower music. Probably wouldn't go past 160, that's pretty fast. And the faster you go, the harder it is to complete the movement. So then you start to getting into compromised techniques. So making sure that you're watching your participants at those greater speeds. Step is recommended 118 to 128 beats per minute. I find 118 very, very slow, even for beginners. So watch your people. If you think they can handle a little bit more speed, gradually add. I've used 130 beats in my class, and I just kind of watch and see if we're not able to complete the movements properly, then I slow it down. But most people, I think, can handle 128 as long as they are able to complete the movements properly. Muscle, less than 132 beats per minute. That's to ensure that momentum doesn't take over so that you're able to get a complete range of motion. Cycle, more than 120. And this is just because when you cycle to the music and use the rhythm to actually drive how fast you're going, then that 120 equals 60 revolutions per minute, and that's as slow as you want to go on the bike for knee safety. So it kind of gives you a parameter there. And flexibility music, you want music without a strong beat, something that's slow and relaxing. It's not wrong to use your cardio music in the flexibility portion, but if you watch your participants, they don't relax as much as they do with a relaxing song. They kind of are bouncing or bopping a little bit to the music as opposed to relaxing into the stretch and breathing deep. So take the time to make the switch at the end of class to something that's a little bit more slow and relaxing. Phrasing is the thing that separates fitness music from music you hear on the radio. And it's basically taking 8 measures to equal 32 beats. So there's 8 measures of music. 8 times 4 is 32. So for every 32 beats, there is consistency. So if you were to break music apart of a fitness song, it'd be 32, 32, 32, 32, 32, all the way through. Everything is mixed appropriately, everything matches, everything is always at 32. That's great for building routines because then you can build a pattern that equals 32 beats. Then when you teach it, when you start at the beginning of the phrase, and then when it's done, it's the end of the phrase. It feels great as a participant because it flows. And it's a natural stop and starting piece with the music. So you use the music to start and stop patterns. It helps you with counting because when you know that the 32 count phrase is ending, you have this many beats left, which means you can do this many moves. So it really helps and takes your teaching to the next level. Listening for the phrase is the challenge because music is all different, but fitness music tends to have 32 beats equaling a verse, equaling a chorus or an instrumental section. At the end of the phrase, there's usually a drum roll, a cymbal crash, there's an increase in instruments at that last few beats, or there's a change in a singer, change in who sings, change in a harmony, something changes at the end of that 32. So either something added and or something changes with the new phrase. So it's something to listen for. So we'll listen to a little bit of music here so you can see if you can start to hear the phrase. Let's try this one. So you're going to listen for the cymbal crash or the change in the music. Listen to two phrases, listening for that cymbal crash, that increase in instruments at the end. After we do that for two phrases, then we'll actually count the 32 beats. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. New phrase. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. New phrase. So you can kind of hear the change. There's something that changes at the end. Usually the cymbal or something increases in volume or is added to kind of signal that new change is coming. And all good fitness music is built that way. So you can actually listen on your DVDs and watch Counting the Beat Out on page 51 in your manual and also on your DVD if you wanted to get some extra practice. But I just recommend listening to some fitness music and just starting to try to count it over and over and over and over again. Time with movement and music, you can have regular or on-beat movements, half time, which is twice as slow, double time, which is twice as fast, and syncopated, which is an interruption to the rhythm or offbeat. So all of your movements can vary between that. Regular is what you would normally do. Half time is where you go really slow, double time really fast, and syncopated is a little fancier change. It's easy to teach. It's simpler to teach regular on beat to start. Half time is something I would do if you're trying to teach a new move and you need to slow it down so people can get the footwork. Double time would be for intensity, so making sure they can do the regular on beat first before you go double. And syncopated is more of a dancey style of music, so it's very stylized, so that's something you really have to practice, because if you can't do it, then you probably can't teach it and your participants won't get it. So you have to make sure you're very practiced at the syncopated moves. Style of music, make sure you choose what's appropriate for the participant's age and their interests. Ask them what they like and what they don't like. Don't assume that what you like is what they like, because chances are you need to mix it up. Remember, it's not about you and what you want to hear, it's what they want to hear. So they might want country, they might want techno, they might want oldies. So you have to figure out what it is and find the stuff that works for them. Making sure you have a whole bunch of options. When you go to teach a class, now it's easy with iPhones and iPods that you can have thousands of songs at your fingertips. But if you're using CDs that are burnt, have a few versions of it, different styles, so that if they go to a class and they don't feel like Latin that day, then you have another option. You're not just stuck with one CD. You can always ask. they like the music or not. I sometimes give them the option, do you want Latin or do you want country rock? And then they just, majority rules, or whoever's the loudest gets to pick. SOCAN, that's basically an organization that makes sure that artists get paid for you using their music. Most facilities pay these fees to cover their classes and the music played in the workout area, but it's a good idea to double check and see. You can decrease your risk of copyright infringement by paying for your music and not illegally downloading it or sharing it with other people. So buying music that's built for group fitness will help in terms of keeping you safe. But as long as you purchase your music and you have a receipt, then you should be fine. You may have to pay fees to SOCAN, and it's basically a form that you fill out. It's not overly complicated, and depending on it basically depends on how many students, how many classes, and how many weeks you're going to run in the classes. It's a formula. It works out. I think I've done it for 8 classes, 10 participants per class for 42 weeks. It works out to approximately $100. So it's not a ridiculous amount of money, but it might be worth it for you to do it to keep yourself protected. It is something you can write off as an expense as an instructor, so it's something you could definitely use in terms of an expense. Music companies, there are lots out there. Cardio Mixes and 32mix.net, they tend to use more original artists in their music. That's my preference, but everyone depends on what you like. Music CDs run anywhere between, I've seen them as low as $10 and up to $30. So it really just depends. I know with some of them, if you're subscribed to their newsletters and their updates, you get discount codes that are good for a weekend, and you can get 20% off a CD or 4 CDs or something like that. So they have deals they run all the time. So sometimes it pays to be patient and just wait for the next deal to come. Click Mix is interesting because you just pick songs and then they get mixed together. So you can pick your own order, pick your own music, make your own class. Basically, you get to play DJ with Click Mix, which is interesting. There are some free music that you can download. This is more for the choreography-based classes. So it's something that you can use in terms of 32 count music. So that's something that would be beneficial to start with, because then you can practice and make sure that you actually like it. Something happened here. There we go. There we go. But they're nice options, something you can start to try before you buy. In terms of your sound system, when you go to teach your classes, make sure you're oriented on how to use it before you teach your first class. You don't want to show up there and have to figure out this huge soundboard that you've never seen before. Make sure you bring backup CDs if you're using your iPod, just in case something happens, it doesn't work. And bring backup iPod if you're using CDs. Just have extras just in case. If your CD is skipping, make sure you have extra CDs just in case. You never know. And also a good idea to bring extra batteries for the microphone, whatever they AA or AAA, just to have one in your bag, because you never know, sometimes the last battery gets used and there's no batteries to replace. So you want to make sure you have your bases covered. If you're bringing your own sound system, just test it first to make sure the sound is produced is big enough to fill the space you're teaching in, that it's easy to transport. You don't want to be lugging anything around that's too heavy or too awkward. In terms of music volume, no louder than 90 decibels, and your voice needs to be about 10 decibels louder than that. And that range is considered safe for the ear and hearing by health and safety standards. So that's the range that you want to basically keep it to, not exceed. Keeping care of your voice is really important. It's your tool to lead your classes, so take care of it. Use a microphone if it's available. If there's not one, there's a few tips that you can use to make sure you minimize the stress on your vocal cords. Keep your jaw, neck, and shoulders relaxed. Creating tension in that area creates tension in the vocal cords, which can cause some strain. Turn around and face the class to teach, so your voice is projecting to them, not away from them. Think about projecting the voice out, not up. So you don't want to go up an octave and get really high because that's hard to hear. You want to go out and low. Use more visual cues, more hand cues, more facial expressions, more body expressions. Try to breathe from your abdomen, so diaphragmatic breathing helps you force the air out and helps you get deeper into your speaking voice. Drink lots of water, keep the vocal cords nice and wet and hydrated. Avoid irritants like smoking and smells. Obviously, they cause irritation to the vocal cords. Try to keep from clearing your throat. I know in cold and flu season that's a challenge, but do your best. And avoid screaming, yelling, or shouting. So need to coach, need to cue, you need to encourage and inspire and motivate, but keep it to something where it's a little in that lower register so that you're not straining the voice at all.